What happened to the Jamison family is a haunting mystery that still captures the public's imagination. On October 8, 2009, Bobby Dale Jamison, his wife Sherilynn, and their 6-year-old daughter, Madyson vanished from their home in Eufaula, Oklahoma. What started as a normal day quickly turned into an unimaginable nightmare for the community and the family searching for them. Days passed without any sign of the family, leading authorities to escalate their search efforts. Eventually, the Jamison family's pickup truck was discovered in Latimer County, about an hour's drive from their home. This was not just an ordinary discovery. The vehicle was in a remote area, raising alarms about what might have happened to them. Inside the truck, investigators uncovered a chilling scene. Items typically associated with a short trip were scattered about. Wallets, IDs, and even Sherilynn's purse were left behind. But what stuck out the most was the condition of their family dog, who was found malnourished, yet alive in the back seat. This revelation suggested that the family had not planned on being away for long, leading to even more questions about their sudden disappearance. The search for answers intensified when security footage from outside their home was reviewed. However, it provided little clarity, failing to capture the moments leading to their disappearance. As the investigation unfolded, the eerie nature of their story began to take shape, leading many to speculate about what could have possibly taken place. Despite the discovery of their remains 4 years later, the mystery of the Jamison family's disappearance continues to baffle both authorities and armchair detectives alike. What truly happened on that fateful day remains unsolved, inviting ongoing discussion and theories surrounding this tragic case. In the heart of Oklahoma, among the quiet hills and tangled woods, lies one of the most disturbing and unsolved mysteries in recent American history. The disappearance of Bobby Dale Jamison, his wife Sherilynn, and their 6-year-old daughter Madyson is not just a tale of a family lost. It's a riddle drenched in fear, filled with contradictions, and cloaked in something far more sinister than a simple missing persons case. To understand the darkness that unfolded, you must first understand the Jamisons. Bobby and Sherilynn Jamison lived in the small town of Eufaula, Oklahoma, a sleepy community surrounded by dense forest and open plains. From the outside, they appeared, like many others struggling through the 2000s, couple burdened by illness, money troubles, and the quiet grind of rural isolation. Bobby, 44, had been seriously injured in a car accident and lived with chronic, debilitating back pain. He relied on medication to get through the day, and as his physical strength faded, so too did his ability to work and provide for his family. Sherilynn, 40, was described by those who knew her as vibrant but deeply troubled. She had suffered from severe depression since the death of her sister in a freak bee sting accident, and was reportedly bipolar, a condition she sometimes treated with alternative medicine and sometimes ignored altogether. Despite their issues, the couple was devoted to their daughter Madyson, a bright, expressive child with big eyes and a shy smile. Neighbors recalled seeing her playing outside, often under the watchful gaze of her mother. But beneath the surface, the family was unraveling. They grew increasingly reclusive. Bobby became obsessed with religion and spirituality, telling friends he had been visited by spirits and that his house was haunted by 2 to 4 ghosts that perched on the roof and whispered through the walls. He even claimed to have spoken to his dead father. Sherilynn painted cryptic messages on the family's storage container and told her best friend that she believed she was a witch. The Jamisons were living in a fog of confusion and quiet desperation. They had begun talking about buying land deep in the Sans Bois Mountains, an area known for its remoteness. The plan was to live off-grid in a shipping container they would convert into a home cut off from the world, free from judgment, and perhaps, they believed, from the spirits that plagued them. They packed up their white pickup truck and drove out of Eufaula, heading toward Red Oak in Latimer County to view a 40-acre plot of remote land. They didn't tell anyone where they were going. They didn't pack for a long trip. They just left. 8 days later, hunters stumbled upon their abandoned truck on a narrow dirt road in the middle of the wilderness. The truck was unlocked. Inside, investigators found Sherilynn's purse and wallet, Bobby's wallet and phone, including Madyson's jacket. Also, they found a brown briefcase that Sherilynn always carried with $32,000 in cash, stashed under the driver's seat. But what disturbed the officers the most was the family dog, Maisie, still in the back seat, malnourished, dehydrated, and barely alive. It was clear the family had not planned to be gone long. There were no signs of struggle, no blood, no drag marks, and no footprints leading away. It was as if the Jamison family had simply stepped out of existence. When police reviewed the home's security camera footage from the night before the trip, they discovered something even stranger. For about 20 minutes, Bobby and Sherilynn could be seen silently going back and forth between the house and their truck, loading items into the vehicle. They moved like sleepwalkers. Neither spoke. Their expressions were blank. They made nearly 20 trips each. Some described their behavior as trance-like, others called it robotic, as if they were under some kind of spell or duress. Sherilynn clutched a large brown book. Some claimed it resembled a Bible, others swore it was a Wiccan grimoire. Whatever they were doing, it didn't look like normal packing. During the investigation, police discovered a handwritten letter from Sherilynn to Bobby, 11 pages long and filled with rage. She accused him of being emotionally distant, of ignoring her, and of giving up on their family. The tone was bitter, almost venomous, with hints of hopelessness and despair. Some detectives believed the letter pointed to a breakdown in the couple's relationship. Others suspected it might support a theory of murder-suicide. Had Sherilynn snapped? Had Bobby? But the letter wasn't dated, and without any signs of violence, it remained just another unsettling piece of an increasingly chaotic puzzle. Bobby's paranoia about the supernatural was more than just passing fear. According to their pastor, Bobby believed he was under spiritual attack. He once asked if it was possible to shoot a ghost. He and Sherilynn had reportedly begun conducting seances, using a satanic Bible to banish evil spirits from their home. Sherilynn told a friend she believed dark forces were attached to her son from a previous marriage, who was not living with them at the time. Were they fleeing something? Or heading somewhere they believed would offer salvation? Bobby had recently filed a restraining order against his father, Bob Dean Jamison, accusing him of threatening to kill the entire family. Bobby claimed his father was involved in drugs and white supremacist gangs and had tried to poison him and run him over with a car. The restraining order detailed violent behavior and serious allegations, but no formal charges were filed. Bob Dean died just 2 months after the Jamisons vanished, fueling rumors. Some believed he had orchestrated the disappearance before his health declined. Others thought his death had silenced one of the few people who might have known what really happened. Perhaps the most chilling element of the case came years later, when authorities found a strange photo on one of the family's phones. It was of Madyson sitting on a large rock in what appeared to be the woods where the family disappeared. She looked terrified, her eyes wide and haunted, her arms stiff by her sides, her face frozen in an expression somewhere between fear and confusion. Some speculated it was the last photo ever taken of her. The timestamp placed it on or around the day of the disappearance. But no one knew who had taken the photo or why. Was it a family snapshot? A panicked moment before something terrible happened? Or evidence that someone else had been with them in the woods? For nearly 4 years, the forest kept its secrets. Then in November 2013, 2 hunters stumbled across partial skeletal remains just 3 miles from where the truck had been abandoned. A forensic team identified the remains as Bobby, Sherilynn, and Madyson. They were lying side by side. No clothing. No clear cause of death. Animals had scattered their bones, making it impossible to determine whether they had been murdered, overdosed, starved, or died from exposure. Toxicology was impossible. It was as if the forest had waited until everything was beyond understanding, then gave the family back. To this day, the Jamison case remains unsolved, and every theory only deepens the fear. Murder-suicide, based on Sherilynn's letter and the money in the car. Some believe the family intended to end their lives together. But why bring the dog? Why so far into the wilderness? Was this a drug deal gone wrong? The large amount of cash fueled speculation that the Jamisons had been involved in or targeted by the local meth trade. Latimer County has a long history of drug activity. The family's obsession with the occult and Bobby's father's alleged criminal connections sparked theories of occult sacrifice or spiritual ritual. Others still believe something followed them into those woods, something that manipulated their thoughts and led them to their deaths. No evidence has ever confirmed a single theory. Then there's the unsettling involvement of Bobby Dale's father, Bob Dean Jamison. Bobby had taken the critical step of filing a protective order against him, alleging threats to his life and that of his family. The petition portrayed Bob Dean as a dangerous figure entangled in a web of criminality, including gangs and drug activity. It's a narrative that paints a dark picture of potential familial strife leading to tragedy. But just when it seemed there could be a suspect to scrutinize further, Bob Dean passed away only 2 months after the Jamison family vanished. His deteriorating health and hospitalization surrounding the time of their disappearance raised significant doubts about his capacity to be involved in any wrongdoing. In fact, his brother, Jack, asserted that while Bob had personal demons, he was likely not physically capable of having orchestrated any such violence. Despite the multitude of leads explored, investigators found themselves at a standstill. The case of the Jamison family was as confounding as the mysteries of life and death itself. Israel Beauchamp, the Latimer County Sheriff during the case, expressed the frustration felt by many investigators. A lot of investigators would love to have as many leads as we do. The problem is they point in so many different directions. This multitude of avenues without closure only exacerbated the mystery, making the truth even more elusive. It's not just that a family went missing. It's that they left behind no reason, no resolution, no final chapter. Only silence and that photograph of Madyson frozen in time, as if she knew something was coming. Something none of us will ever understand. Thanks for diving into the shadows with me, you curious, twisted, and beautifully eerie souls. My name is Penny Flick with Kreep-ish. Share your thoughts below. We're just scratching the surface of true crime, history's mysteries, and all things hauntingly fascinating. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and always remember, the truth is stranger than fiction.